Hello, my name is Stephan Conway, and this is a SkyNews exclusive. Today I have the opportunity of interviewing Father John Denning, President of Stonehill College. Thank you for being with us today.
It's good to be with you, Stephen.
July 1st, 2013, you became the 10th president in Stonehill's 65th year history. Fast forward 4 years later, how has this journey been for you?
Well, it has been a fast forward. I'm amazed at how quickly the time has passed. It's been, I think it's really been an exciting time for me. It's been a wonderful time and a challenging time. I'd say that being president, you certainly have an opportunity to meet students in a variety of ways, to hear about their success and their hopes and dreams for the institution and for themselves. I'd say one thing that's really been important for me is an opportunity to meet so many of our alums, and to come to know our alumni, the great affection they have for the college, the willingness to do anything for our current students' success and flourishing is pretty extraordinary, and to see the commitment that our alumni have for the institution. And the third aspect, certainly during these past 3.5 years, is working closely with our Board of Trustees. And we have a really talented and committed group of men and women on the Board of Trustees who really are dedicated to Stonehill and to its continued success. So working with the board on our strategic initiatives has been something I really focused on during these past 3.5 years, along with certainly the work with our alums. So I'd say that the 3.5 years gone by pretty quickly. But it's given me an opportunity to be involved in things I hadn't been at the institution, at least to the level before becoming president.
To your comments about the alums being a part of SAA and just being around campus, there's no question that alumni have a certain desire or motive to pay it forward, which is great to see. Mm-hmm. Why do you think that is?
I think there's a real sense of ownership that our alums have for the institution, a sense of belonging. They meet their best friends here, and then coupled with they know faculty, and the faculty have worked with them while they were students, and are continually concerned about their success in their professional lives and their personal lives. So I just think there's a real sense of ownership and belonging and commitment to this young institution. And they know what it was for them, and they want to, as you said earlier, pay it forward for the next generation of students.
When you were inaugurated in 2013, you shared your introduction to the college with students who were perhaps as nervous, anxious, yet excited as you might have been entering the college. What does the class of 2017 mean to you, being the freshman class when you came into the school, now being seniors?
Yeah, I remember every year, when I meet the freshmen at move-in day and what the excitement that day is for parents, and watching them move in with their sons or daughters into the different buildings on campus, and the uncertainty and the nervousness of that day, and then seeing 3.5 years later and watching the leadership of the class of 2017, that's pretty extraordinary. I certainly see it in student government. I've witnessed it in our athletic programs where our student athletes, our seniors, really step up to the plate, to use a baseball analogy, but not just in baseball, but certainly throughout the institution, to really be leaders for their teams, but for our institution. So I've witnessed it. I had the opportunity to go to the SURE presentations in the Commons a couple of weeks ago, and to hear about the work and the engagement of our seniors with our faculty and some of the exciting research that's happened in their lives during these 3.5 years. So I've really pretty certainly impressed by the leadership of the class of 2017. I see it in campus ministry, I see it in res life. They've really stepped forward and helped to lead the institution, and especially, I think, to mentor our first-year students. And you mentioned SAA, but there are a lot of opportunities that I see in the class of 2017 really mentor the first-year students. One of the I teach, I facilitate one of the first year classes, the engagement class in the beginning, for the meets for 8 weeks. But one of the comments from the students, the freshmen, were just how kind the upper class students are to them, and how they really reach out to them in really positive ways. So certainly that tone set by the class of 2017.
I wanted to ask you, universities and college presidents' role demands a significant amount of time, and there are many different aspects of that role, which unfortunately can restrict them from being visible on campus and being able to interact with students and staff, which you do very well. How do you manage to find the time to consistently interact with students and staff around campus and be the visible figure that you are?
Well, I think it is finding opportunities to do that, so I think it's, for me, to hear our staff, their concerns, what they feel can really help us be a better institution. That's always important. And also for me to say thank you to them for the work they do, for our students and for the institution as a whole. So to go around and to actually talk to our staff is really important to me, and especially to acknowledge the great work they're doing. I think with our students, that gives me, it's important for me to know what's happening in the lives of our students, what some of their challenges are, and what we can do to make the school a stronger place for them. But just to daily interact with our students, to see them certainly throughout a variety of works that they're involved in at the institution is important. We're going to begin a comprehensive campaign. The board just approved it. So that will certainly put restrictions on my time in terms of availability on campus. So it's really, I think, even more important for me to be very intentional about when I can be visible and present on campus, because I think, as you mentioned, it's important. It's important that folks at the institution, people, students, faculty, staff, know they're present.
How has this year been so far? I know it's a loaded question, but what are your goals for this year, being October, heading into the descending parts of the first semester into the second semester? What do you hope to achieve as a community?
First of all, I think it's been something about being on a college campus in the fall. There's just an excitement that happens at Stonehill. Certainly you see it in athletic events, but I look back a couple of weeks ago, we had an open house that welcomed 600 families to the school. And it was an opportunity to showcase Stonehill to our guests, seniors in high school and juniors in high school and their families. And to see the sense of welcome, not just with student ambassadors and folks who are working with the admissions office, but the sense of welcome that our students give to families visiting, and a desire for them to tell others of some of the good things that are happening in their own lives as students. That's really encouraging for me. I would say in terms of institutional goals, one of the things that I'm working on closely with our faculty and staff is on the Institutional Diversity Action Committee that I'm leading. Certainly I'll share some of the objectives and work we've been doing with others at the college around issues of diversity, and I'll be sharing that at the town hall meeting with our students next week. But that's certainly a key work that we need to be about this year. I'd say we have some long-term plans that have been initiated by the Board of Trustees along with our senior leadership team that really commence now.
Could you give us, you touched on it earlier, but could you give us any insight as to a 5-year plan for the school?
Sure. So at the Board of Trustees meeting that occurred at the end of September, some important things happened there, especially as we look forward 5 years. One is the launching of a comprehensive campaign. So this will be a 6-year campaign that will take us to the 75th anniversary of the college. And 3 major initiatives for funding opportunities would be the School of Business, scholarships and financial aid for our students, and also academic initiatives. And that could include initiatives like chairs of faculty chairs, but other initiatives going forward. So those would be the three main areas for the comprehensive campaign in terms of funding. And that launched with this past Board of Trustees. We all signed off on moving forward with comprehensive campaigns. That's really exciting for us. The second area is around building out the master plan. My predecessor, Father Mark, about 10 years ago initiated a master plan, and I was asked by the board to redo the master plan to update it. And we certainly have built out a lot of the campus corresponding to the master plan that Father Mark put in place. But in the next 5 years, the master plan will really focus on the academic quads and our academic buildings. The first one will be the student union, and that building will be complete renovation to include a welcome center, bookstore would move there, a large tiered auditorium, sloped auditorium floor, also faculty offices and some state-of-the-art classrooms, which will give our visitors an opportunity to see some of the work engagement that you see happen with our faculty and students every day. So that building will be actually begun later on in the spring. The second major initiatives in terms of the master plan will be the new School of Business, and that will come off from the side of Stanger, and so that'll be certainly a transformative building, housing state-of-the-art classrooms, also Department of Business, Economics, and Healthcare Administration, and that will be really work at fundraising for that building. And the final major work would be the College Center, which houses the Merckett Gymnasium, which will continue to house the Merckett Gymnasium, and also some offices for basketball and women's volleyball. But the classroom side of that will, again, be for our faculty classrooms, offices. Most likely it will house more of our STEM programs, including computer science, the pre-engineering program, mathematics. So that's a little farther down the road, but all those buildings will be, we'll be commencing those within this 5 to 10 year period. First one will be the Welcome Center.
Okay. The School of Business, that's generating a lot of buzz and has a lot of people excited. Because the school hasn't had a graduate program per se prior to this new initiative, what would the School of Business do to the already well-respected business program here at Stonehill?
Well, I think if I could just approach it from both the School of Business and the School of Arts and Sciences, because I think for both of those schools, it will provide us, certainly opportunities for national recognition. It will also put us definitely more in line with our peer institutions, but also our aspirant institutions. I think it will generate certainly some important focus on the programs that are happening within the business. Right now, the business department, but soon the School of Business. Allow us to really focus on that and to allow the dean to focus on ways of working with the faculty to enhance the academic programs within either the School of Business or the School of Arts and Sciences. So it really is an exciting time. It's good to know that it's generating some buzz on campus, because I do think it will allow us to really focus ourselves on our academic programs. And that's what certainly the master plan does. Also, I think the comprehensive campaign does. Also, the shaping of these two schools, the School of Business and the School of Arts and Sciences.
What would you say to the class of 2017 seniors now as far as words of encouragement, advice, or suggestion as they begin their final descent as students at Stonehill College?
I would say visit the Career Development Center. Really, this is, so most everybody just finished their midterms. So this time between now and Thanksgiving, get over to career development, have them work with your resume, have them help you practice an interview, go for an interview. You might not even think you want to do that job, But go for the interview. You'll learn about yourself, you'll learn about your style with interviews. I'll probably look at the screen afterwards and learn about my own interview style with you, Stephen. So, but it's important, it's important to really, to do that, to work on what you want to do after Stonehill. And I know it can be a little anxiety producing, but I think if you go to career development, if you talk to your faculty about what your hopes are, or staff, and say, well, this might be a direction you want to go, but use this time well, especially I think of this time before Thanksgiving, to really get over there and meet the people. Also, I'd say with our alums, again, career development can put you in touch with alums who can serve as mentors, opportunities for internships. It's really critical that you use this time well, and I think especially for our seniors, this time between now and Thanksgiving, when certainly after Thanksgiving exams and papers kick in, but to try to use this time well and to utilize the resources we have here.
So as we
to enjoy the time.
Enjoy the time, most definitely. So as we always do in SkyNews exclusive interviews, we like to end off the interview with quick hits, what we call a stack of fun questions that allow the audience to get to know a little bit more about the side of you that they might not know.
Sure.
So we'll start off with favorite book.
A Distant Mirror by Barbara Tuchman.
Favorite dinner meal.
That's easy. It's pasta with white clam sauce, fresh clams preferably, a little garlic, parsley, and a little crushed red pepper and olive oil.
Sounds yummy. If you could sit down and have a cup of coffee with anybody of your choosing, deceased or alive, who would it be and why?
I think it'd be my mom and dad, and I think to thank them and just for them to know how appreciative I am. I'm not in any rush to do that, they're both deceased, but I'd certainly love the opportunity sometime in the future to sit down with my mom and dad and just to thank them.
Do you have a favorite band or genre of music that you like to listen to?
Sure, I like Bruce Springsteen.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'd say that would be pretty close, yeah.
Favorite part of Boston, if you could choose one?
Commons, Beacon Hill, and of course Fenway. Love the area around Fenway, like particularly being in the park watching a game. Mm. Sort of envious of Chicago right now and Cleveland, but they've been exciting games to watch. So.
What would you say is your biggest pet peeve?
Litter on campus drives me crazy. I just like, the random can that's over here, or people just drop things. I think our campus is so beautiful, and then I'd say a pet peeve I have is litter on campus.
What has been your best Stonehill moment to date so far?
There have been a lot. I think last spring, Matt Brown graduating, I thought that was really a beautiful moment for the college and certainly for Matt's family and his friends. My own niece and nephew have graduated from Stonehill. It's been really neat giving them the diploma. It's really very touching. I think to welcome the freshmen every year is one of those Stonehill moments. Last year I went to the NCAA East Regional for cross country, and just to see how well our women just excelled on that cross country field. It was really extraordinary, So there have been all these moments that hard to capture one that make me realize certainly what a privilege it is to be president, and what a great community Stonehill is.
I asked you about your favorite Stonehill moment. What's your favorite part of Stonehill and being on campus?
Well, certainly meeting the students is always it's a good thing for me. I'd say in terms of part of campus, there's a faculty lounge in the Martin Institute that looks out on the campus. I think that's certainly a pretty spot looking out the school. I think there's a chapel here in Donahue that for me is really a peaceful place where I can really center different moments during the day. I love walking the campus. It's a beautiful place.
It is. Well, that's all the time we have for today. I want to thank Father John Denning.
Thanks, Steve.
Really appreciate it.
Good being with you.
It's good being with you. And for more videos of our SkyNews broadcast, please tune into YouTube at the Summit Newspaper video. Father John, thanks very much.
Thanks, Steve.